We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine collective, to see what is going on. We're actually in the November Pleiadian alignment, which is so powerful, as we're receiving a lot of energies from our central sun. Earth and our sun are actually aligned with the Pleiades. We're receiving a lot of light from Alcyone, which is the brightest star of the Pleiades star cluster. So during this time, we're flooded with a lot of solar energies, which are amazing at helping us to clear and integrate our karma. But we're also receiving a lot of galactic energies during this time, which helps us to really tap in. It's also an amazing time to connect with the energy of the Pleiades, especially from now through the winter solstice, which will happen next month. So we're receiving a lot of galactic energies. We stay in this porthole until the 23rd. So we're going through some major activations and upgrades. Expect a lot of DNA upgrades in this phase. Expect to receive a lot of spiritual downloads. These are energies all about spiritual awakening, but also helping you to move through whatever's coming up for you in your own individual healing journey during this time. So these energies are helping us to move forward with more clarity, but also to clear obstacles, blocks, and things that may be in our path or may be coming up for us to heal during this time. Major energies for healing and manifesting. You guys are probably kind of feeling those vibes. During the November Pleiadian alignment, we're actually opposite the Pleiades. This is an alignment that plays out twice a year. It happens first in May, which we're always closest to, and then in November, where we're opposite to the Pleiades. But we're receiving so many Pleiadian energies, and a lot of you guys that are probably drawn to my, we'll say, page or my videos are probably a starseed of some sort and going through a spiritual awakening. So these are energies that can really help us with our own spiritual awakening, but are also helping to wake up the planet. We know that the Pleiadians play a huge role in helping the collective during this time, especially within this awakening, and helping us to shift into higher levels of consciousness too. So a lot of really powerful energies come at us. We definitely want to be tapping into these energies and using them and making them work for us. So we do have a huge focus on just whatever's going on for you in your life and making huge shifts right now. You're being guided to step into your power with what you're manifesting. Pay attention to the narratives and scripts running in your mind. That's where the inner work comes in, to stay more positive and to change the narratives. When you're able to do that, you're able to shift your timeline or shift any of your situations going on. Now, of course, this is a twin flame reading, so we're going to talk about your love life and relationships during this reading. We're going to start with a reading for the divine feminine. Please only take what resonates for your specific situation, though, as this is just we'll say a general reading. I always say to do those one-on-one phone call sessions with me as often as you need them, as we're going to go in and we're going to heal things that are coming up for you and kind of tap into your own specific situation. So you can do that reading option on my website as often as you need it too. So I do those twin flame reading options. I also am an energy healer. I do lots of healings, clearings, and activation work, always recommending that you're doing more healings too. I have a lot of like twin flame activations at a good price to help you guys with your healing journey too. I also do twin flame coaching, which is great for helping you through the process too. So make sure you guys are checking out my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. And if you need me, just book me on there. I also have a lot of healings up specifically for this Pleiadian porthole too, because it's always amazing energies to be tapping into for doing healing and activation work. So I have a lot of stuff in my shop. You can do anything in my shop anyways. That's still up there. I'm going to be flipping it over on, I believe, Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and update it and start deleting some of the stuff up there. But you can do anything in my shop anytime. So we're going to start with a reading for divine feminine, divine masculine. If you're watching, direct messages from your divine feminine. I should have believed in you. You always had my best interest at heart. I want to hold you again. I need to feel your body next to mine. Many of you guys, if you're without your twin flame, and this could just be like apart from them or separation, this is where a lot of emotional energy is surfacing and going to surface, and you're going to go through certain stages of healing that I notice with the twin flame journey. Everyone has different experiences, obviously, in a different journey or path to getting to union, but I notice the same stages will come up for twin flames for healing, obviously. That's why I've designed my twin flame coaching to go into these certain areas to heal you. So there's certain things that are going to come up. One thing that I see with twin flames is that the purges come. This is a lot of intense emotional upheavals may come because this is negative energy that you've stored within, and it's going to trigger all of your old baggage. This is old wounds, old relationship baggage, whatever it is coming to the surface. If you have a lot of unhealed inner child trauma, that's coming up. And things like that. So it's going to bring up things for you to heal. And oftentimes this can bring up a lot of intense energies and even intense emotions. Right now, you're being guided to cleanse your energy and clear any intense emotions or energies that might be surfacing. We have a lot of karmic energies that might be surfacing during the Pleiadian portal because it brings a lot of high frequency energies. And as we're integrating a lot of these Pleiadian energies, it tends to stir up the old wounds that we all do carry. So this could be old wounds, fears, things that you're holding on to. Your twin flame journey tends to trigger these things to the surface as part of the healing that needs to be done, or the healing work that needs to be done. So right now, Divine Feminine being guided to really focus on yourself and your life. Those in union, because a lot of you guys are, you're being guided. So for everyone, you're being guided to really, really focus on yourself too, and finding more balance between yourself and your own personal journey and your shared twin flame journey, as you guys share that part of the journey and even that shared destiny too. So finding a little bit of balance between yourself, your own work you're doing in your own life, and then this relationship, we will call it, this twin flame connection of finding more balance. The more that you are healing yourself, working on self-love, self-care, doing energy work, it's going to help your twin flame along the journey too. I keep track of you from afar by looking you up online. I know we've been together in past lives. I recognize you. You were never a stranger to me. I feel this is where a lot of the narratives come from with twin flames. So twin flames also share karma, and especially as you share a soul. So any karma that you have individually, as this is a reading for the Divine Feminine, any karma that you still have to work through, and this could be things you need to heal, things you need to integrate, your past baggage, your twin flame is here to help you along the journey. Oftentimes DM triggers a lot of things, and they don't mean to. They don't even realize that you may be wounded in these areas, or that things might be affecting you. And so oftentimes we have a lot of energies that get stirred up on the Divine Feminine side, and a lot of projecting that outward. So the more that you're healing, the less that will happen, and you'll be in more of an inner harmony, thus more of an outer alignment with your twin flame. But of course, the hard stuff is going to come up. Whatever narrative that you guys are playing out, and this is usually the external to you involving your twin flame story, and it could be all sorts of things, is usually from past lifetimes of something that you are shared together here to work out. And so it just kind of depends. So your outer situations and maybe some of the blocks, obstacles, and things that you're facing to heal or that need to be dissolved away. Because as you're doing that inner work, the outer blocks will dissolve as you're healing inner blocks as they're coming from within. Some of you guys have been manifesting the same situation again that you had with karmics with the twin flame, or you've been bringing old past life narratives and timelines into your relationships or your relationship with your twin flame. And there might be something karmically that you're here to work out or to heal, and your twin flame is here to help you to see these things, to realize these things, or even to work out certain karmic issues or challenges or blockages still going on within yourself, as you do share not just that spiritual connection, but that soul. And so you share a soul blueprint too, and they're here to help you to heal that template or to heal that soul blueprint too. And so oftentimes a lot of karmic energies may come up, whether things you need to heal within yourself, or even sometimes externally, as these things are coming up within you, they're kind of being shown to you. So I always say, pay attention to what you're seeing in your twin flame dynamic, or as it is here to mirror things about yourself that you may need to heal, face, acknowledge, and even work on. And so they're here to show you things about yourself to help you, to motivate you to become a better version of yourself. So sometimes with twin flame, you're being guided to kind of work on yourself and do that higher level of work in certain areas. They may reflect back things or show you things about your life that you may need to continue to work on or to heal or to face or acknowledge within yourself. This is a type of connection that's going to obviously encourage you to do more healing work too. And so make sure that you're focusing on your healing, as the more that you're in that higher frequency, deeper alignment, you're going to shift into an alignment with your twin flame too. We're going to see a lot of twin flames coming together for that wave. We'll say, I call them waves, for those waves that may be in separation, but it's all about doing that inner work to get there too. And so this is why it's important that you're aligned with the inner and paying attention, and I say nipping, clearing out negative narratives and reframing them, doing that spiritual inner work, cleansing negative energies. One of the biggest blocks that I see, because you couldn't really face many, is negative energy. Negative energy tends to push away what we're trying to attract, or we tend to focus on more negative, creating more negativities. So healing and clearing and releasing negative energy is huge. This is why we tend to focus on a lot of clearing work within Ascension, because a lot comes up your whole lifetime, all the trauma, right, everything. And especially with Twin Flame, because they're here to motivate you to go through this ascension process faster. And so a lot of people think, the Twin Flame journey has its own work. Well, it certainly does. It's the same ascension work you would be doing solo. However, your Twin Flame is here to motivate you, hopefully, to go through this process faster and to complete this ascension faster. So your twin flame is very connected to your spiritual awakening generally, and your ascension journey too, of motivating you to do that work that is required to get into union. But a lot of people kind of get confused. You're supposed to be working on yourself for yourself to become a better version of yourself too. So oftentimes some of the keys, and you may need a couple, one of the keys that you need is to really focus on yourself and just becoming that better version of yourself. You'll know what you need to work on, or what you need to shift, or what you need to change. And sometimes this is on that energy level and the inner level of it too. So we have a lot of, we'll say, work coming up right now. And it just kind of depends on that work. I'm resisting my desire for you because it's too late now. We've grown apart and you've moved on. So I've been reminding a couple of people that it doesn't matter how things have gone with your twin flame. You can always heal your situation, and you may need to heal certain things in your life. Like, nothing is beyond healing. It doesn't matter, because sometimes a lot of negative energies can come up, or people can get stuck or face obstacles or things that you may or may not know how to shift. Get some help if you need it. That's what I'm here for. I'm really good at helping you through this process too. So you're being reminded that you can heal this situation no matter how it has already gone, or no matter how it's going. Everywhere I go, I look around as if you'll magically be there. I long for you in a way that only you would get. And twin flames, I was reminding someone, you guys will always long for each other if people do try to move on, which can happen, especially if there's other karmic lessons people need to experience. Seeing that bigger perspective, I think it's impossible that twin flames are not always thinking about each other in the back of their mind, longing for each other, wanting to be together. This is a really, really powerful connection, and that's one of the signs that you're in a twin flame connection, is that you're always longing for this person, and it can feel like almost like a soul longing or a soul pull, or especially for the divine feminine, something you're feeling on that energy level. It can be very hard to be apart. I feel that's why a lot of times the separations or the process to union happens too, to kind of dial down the intensity of the energy. So sometimes it starts out very intense, and when you go through some of the stages, when you do come together, it'll still be intense, but you'll have healed for divine feminine the abandonment, neediness, the rejection wounds, the things that are unhealthy, the codependent patterns and dynamics, and the things you need to work on within yourself that generally get triggered along the way on the twin flame journey too. Our souls came from the same galaxies, starseed lovers, and I love this because we're in a lot of galactic energies during this time on planet Earth, helping to wake up the planet. So there's a lot of energies, especially if you're a starseed during this time, you're really going to be feeling these Pleiadian energies, but they can help you to get more creative and to manifest and to heal certain things, or they're helping you to bring more of these aspects online so that you can integrate them, especially the more that you're clearing your karma and karmic energies and healing things within yourself, you're going to notice that your frequency is going up and that you're able to tap in more and you're downloading more, and pay attention to your dreams right now. Like there's a lot happening on the astral level, or, you know, you're getting more clear. And sometimes we don't like that because we have a lot being unveiled during this time, and we're starting to see things as they are around us. And we could say collectively, but I'm talking in your life, that you're starting to see more of your own life and situations for as they are. And sometimes this is like, okay, wake up energy. So we have a lot of wake up call energy once again, waking up and stirring up the collective, that we're going to see over like the next year ahead too. So right now we're in a lot of energies of awakening, and as the planet's being flooded with a lot of these light codes and galactic energies, it's helping us to see more, but also about things within yourself you need to work on, fix, heal, things within your twin flame dynamic. You're getting a lot of downloads sometimes, you know, in these spaces apart, especially when you spend time alone and you reflect. You're seeing mistakes you've made. You're seeing things you need to heal. You're seeing the sabotaging patterns and behaviors, and maybe, you know, you should have done this a little differently, or, you know, as we talked about, dialing it down for the divine feminine and things like that, or not continuing to project old wounds on our DM that they don't even see and didn't know existed, and really facing these things within ourselves to purge out or heal or release negative beliefs and things that we've had or carried a little too long around here that have become a little normalized, and really facing these things within ourselves that our twin flame may have triggered or just shown us through our experience with them, and kind of healing these things on a deeper level. So as we're awakening, we're becoming more aware so that we know what to be healing within ourselves. When I come back to you, it's forever. And I think that's what can make this connection intense too. I did a call last night and I was saying that's why I do feel, not all the time, but a lot of times twin flames come together later in life, because you guys are meant to have cleared out a lot of things, and you know, that's the design, so that you can come together and stay together for the rest of your lives. Believe in miracles. Things can shift anytime, and so also you can shift your situation anytime. And I was saying this is someone, you have so much potential and so much infinite potential. And when we deal with a lot of these Pleiadian energies, it's the infinity shape that plays out all year, that completed in the summer between our sun and the Pleiades. But we have infinite potential. And this is why oftentimes you see the infinity sign around twin flames or around twin flame connections, because we have so much infinite potential that you can shift things anytime, you can change things anytime. But another key we need to this is healing. Make sure you're healing, make sure you're doing that work. Self-care, be gentle with yourself and with your twin flame. So you're being guided to do that healing work and to work on yourselves. Use this situation to motivate you to become the better version of yourself. And your twin flame will always meet you there. Fear is your biggest obstacle. This is negative thoughts and worries, and you're thinking them and they're playing out and sabotaging your union and your life. So we have to clear fear. And this is something coming up with this Pleiadian portal. It's the darker shadow aspect. So we can think of Alcyone, like if we think of Sirius as our spiritual sun, we think of Alcyone as our spiritual moon in a way. It's the feminine energy of the Pleiades. So we know the Pleiades bring a very feminine energy, but I think it goes hand in hand with this time of year where we're being guided to heal shadow aspects. And this is not, as we think, the negative. It's things that we need to heal that are repressed. Usually it's on an energetic level. It's things that we may need to transform or to work on, and that's what happens with twin flame, is the shadow work comes up for you to face, acknowledge, and heal. So sometimes our greatest shadow work is inner child healing, or acknowledging and integrating things that we need to work on, or whatever it is you have kind of going on. But this is also insecurities. And so sometimes insecurities lead to negative thoughts and sabotaging behaviors. And sometimes they're based on reality. Sometimes they're based on past wounds that you needed to heal, and they're not even. So sometimes this draws out, and I always talk a lot about this. I was telling someone that this is going to bring up your insecure attachment style, which most people have. It's going to bring out, past insecure attachment styles, which are rooted in childhood wounding and past previous relationships, as these are relationship dynamics. So your twin flame is going to highlight and show you areas where you need to heal within yourself so that you can have hopefully healthier relationship dynamics. But that's part of the process. I wrote many books about this, and I wrote my coaching to help you guys with the stages. That's just one stage, and one of the very early first layers that gets triggered. There's many layers that you're going to have to work through that are going to get triggered within yourself. And so sometimes this is why it would really benefit you to do energy healing sessions and to find a good healer that can guide you through this process. And I think a lot of the problem that twin flames face is a lot of times you guys are like going to your friends and family for advice, and if they haven't gone through this experience, they're not going to be able to help guide you through it. I was telling someone this morning, right? And I know people mean well, but you're probably going to need a good healer to help you with healing, because you're going to need to do the healing to get through it. Many of the layers that are coming up within yourself, as this is going to trigger many layers of wounding and things that you need to heal. For those of you guys that are diving in deep and doing that healing work, it's going to be very, very rewarding, and you get to this union that you want and things like that. But part of the journey, we call it, some of the steps or stops along the way is healing some of this insecurity, which might be rooted in many different things, but oftentimes it's in our past programming, it's in our upbringing, it's in childhood wounds, it's in earlier relationship wounds. So this is one of just the first layers that gets triggered along the way. Okay, so we have root chakra once again, and this is like, this person will feel at home to you, and like you're gonna know this is your person with it too. Like you're gonna feel very, very comfortable with them. They can see through you on a deep level. You can see them on a really deep level. And I mean on that psychic level, that telepathic level, understanding each other, but also just energetically, it's the yin to the yang. You fit together perfectly. Well, the karmics, you didn't fit. There were some imbalances, to put it mildly, but with this person, you fit very nice. You complement each other. It's almost like, I joke around, you each have the pieces of the puzzle that fit together. Okay, so we have also, you're being guided to once again heal things around community, and I think it's an important part. This is what I do in my free time, is build community too, but this is also healing things with how you're connecting with your friends, your family, your twin flame, obviously, right? And how you're kind of doing your interactions. And this could be, maybe some of you guys are, in that spiritual awakening energy and you're hermiting too much and you need to work on developing other connections like friendships, or you're a little too heavy in those friendships and maybe you're needing to focus on yourself. It's about finding a good balance between yourself and your interactions right now. And so we have this boundary card, and this is like, know when to put up and let down your walls. And this is being mindful of all of your energy exchanges right now. You're maybe needing to have good boundaries in some connections if that they don't have any towards you, or maybe you got too strong of boundaries and you need to let your twin flame in and open up to love again because you've been hurt and you're not really letting these walls down. Right? All right, but it depends, right? So you're needing to find a better balance in your interaction. Now this is a twin flame reading too, so you may need to let this person in and to heal past wounds, and we talked about insecurities around love, and to really see their side of things, that you're both going through this shared journey together, and that, just kind of, we'll say, having more balance. So some of you guys are juggling a lot of activities, job, work, family, right? It's like all of this stuff, but you're needing to also take a little bit of alone time for yourself too. And we have that. Sometimes that happens with twin flame anyway. I love separation is a big example of that, being slow towards union. And a lot of people can't deal. It's like this union fixation, but actually you're needing to move through that. So we do have this is my 5 of Cups, and it's in reverse, so there's a block here. You're needing to heal something from your past. You're needing to let go of things, especially a lot of times people stay hung up on old things that happened with the twin flame, even though these were lessons that may be needed or karmic energies that you both were working through. And oftentimes we love to play the blame game with our twin flame and say they did X, Y, and Z, when actually they were playing out your own karmic template and stirred up your own karmic energy zoned out. And they did play out X, Y, and Z to free you, like something I learned early on. They liberated you from the remainder of your karma in some type of way, doing these lessons with you. And so this is like letting go, and this is heart chakra work, letting go of any grief, sadness, past baggage, like we've been talking about this, accepting the darker aspects of you and what you need to work on. So a lot of times people, once again, point at my twin flame as, the X, Y, and Z going on, and they get tunnel vision and really fixated on it and not see this is a reflection in some way of whatever it's triggering in you. And I know a lot of things that might be triggering, you know, control issues, timing issues, things you need to heal within yourself, negative energies, negative emotions, negative thoughts, and seeing what it's triggering in you and the baggage surfacing and coming up as you work through the journey that you need to let go of, things you need to release. So we have a lot of like spending time alone, doing that healing work and releasing negative energies coming up too. Be open to change, be receptive to new experiences. Change leads to growth. And something I figured out about planet Earth, I feel like we go through a lot of change and experiences and we're done, we're good, we don't want any new experiences. And it's like we continue to have these experiences because that's how we learn here on planet Earth. So planet Earth is all about having new experiences and even staying open to the soul contracts in our life as they're going to or they will unfold. Stay open to having new experiences. If in union, doing new things with your twin flame to keep the energy fresh and exciting. Some of you guys are going to be celebrating all that hard work that you've done and that it's worth the work that you're putting in on yourself, and it always is. So just understand that hard work that you are putting in is paying off in big ways within the spiritual, energetically, in your twin flame situation and union. So stay open to new opportunities. This is insights gained from new experience. Some of you guys are going to stay open to a new job, maybe union, things opening up and presenting themselves. Stay open to kind of going with the flow. This will bring you more abundance, an inflow of money, love, and reward. So maybe we talked, I think last video, about healing something within the sacral and kind of working on that. We've had a lot of stressors coming up with that. We're done with it, but with the Taurus supermoon, not to keep bringing it up, but it brought up some worries in these areas around finances and relationships to show you what to clear, talking of inner shadows. So if you felt stressed in these areas, first you got to see what to heal or what areas to heal in. So it's brought up some things to heal in these areas to help you to shift out of old patterns and behaviors and to open up or to clear blockages. So we've been going through clearing blockages in these areas. Stay positive. This will bring new energies and more abundance into your life. Stay grateful. Some of you guys may need to do a little work in that area. We have exploring, testing the waters, or still looking for the right one. And so this is like searching, and this is how you know it's your twin flame, because I always say the search is over. You've been actually unconsciously searching for this person for a really long time. It's the root cause of why certain relationships don't last or don't work out. You'll say, oh, they're not the one, right? So it's this knowing that we have this person here on planet Earth. And I know a lot of people, I kind of joke around like a lot of people are into this stuff, but everyone has a twin flame, archangels and angels included, humans included. But this is how far I say humanity has fallen, and we get lost here, right? Oftentimes they're fallen from ourselves, because on these high levels, you know, everyone would be with their twin flame or have found their twin flame through doing that level of work. But we do see a lot of karmic partnerships still playing out. However, I have great hopes that a lot of these connections will be clearing. And so you're going to know that, and I say a knowing, that you found your person. And so a lot of you guys have been looking for this person possibly your whole life. I always love these stories because a lot of times people will have had, not everyone, but sometimes people will have had their twin flame around them for a really long time and they didn't even notice them or look at them in that way until, I always say, the time was right and divine timing, right? And suddenly it's like, oh, okay. And so sometimes we see that with twin flames. They might have been around for a really long time. They might have been around you. They might just enter the picture when you're ready. And it just kind of depends on everyone's unique situation as to meeting this person, and it kind of depends. And one of the big reasons why is because you guys had other things to fulfill, other things to do, right? Sometimes twin flames will go have children with karmics and then meet because you were destined to go do that stuff. Or, you know, maybe you had to go do X, Y, and Z and you met in the perfect timing. And so oftentimes twin flames will go through a complete path or journey before meeting each other in that timing, because this is a connection that requires a lot of emotional maturity to be able to go through the healing work that will be triggered on a spiritual and a soul and even on an energetic level, because this usually goes hand in hand with your spiritual awakening or your ascension. So generally, this isn't for everyone, but usually you'll meet your twin flame when you're going through your awakening, as it will help you, or you'll be ready to do that work. expression, being able to share your feelings openly, time to get vulnerable and honest with your twin flame. And I think this helps a lot when you tell them how you feel. It opens up space for them to do the same. Sometimes people wear masks and they play it cash, they don't tell people how they feel. It's the facade, right? It's the ego facade. But when you can take this mask off, we show the mask on Halloween, take the mask off and really show how you feel and share your feelings and be honest with people, it cuts them deep, right? If you didn't notice, in a good way. And so you're being guided to really let down these walls. We talked about having too much walls with your twin flame earlier, to let down these walls and to let them in and tell them how you feel. Okay, so we have the 8 of Swords. Some of you guys are overthinking in that you've been kind of in your own head a little too much lately. This is in reverse, so there's some type of block. Negative thinking, anxiety, fear, you gotta let go of it. And that fear and anxiety and things like that tend to get triggered in certain situations. Not going to go too into that rant because I think I did yesterday. But when we clear this stuff, we get a lot of clarity in our downloads. So if you're always overthinking and focus on those fears, they're manifesting and they're blocking not only your potential for what you're manifesting, but they're also blocking those spiritual downloads and that higher wisdom that we're getting from our spirit guides of what to be doing. And so it's like the ego state. You're being guided to clear all those negative beliefs in your head and over worries, fear, anxieties, doubt. Your twin flame will tend to bring them up. And I noticed that, like, you could be fine and it's like all these relationship fears tend to come up at times, right? Or, you hang out a little too much and you're like, whoa. And especially if you're out of balance. And so that can be, I don't want to say it's normal, but I do feel this can be part of the twin flame journey too, of recognizing this stuff and healing this stuff and doing that inner work, because the inner is going to align with the outer. You're thinking it in your head, it's happening. And if you have a lot of negative narratives going, they're still playing out with your twin flame and not in a good way. And this is why, like, if you guys need help, you need to reset, you need to reboot, do calls with me because I'll help you with that to get out of that, because they do play out within the physical in your twin flame situation. So it requires us actually digging in deep and doing that inner work to change our thoughts in order to change our reality and what we're creating. Okay, so 8 of Wands. Some of you guys feel like things are moving slow or there's a lack of movement. Things are always moving. You might be facing delays, blocks, things like, sometimes, not everyone, but some of you guys, not a lot of communication or no communication. And this is part of the process, I feel, if you've run it into not a great place and maybe needing a shift with it. So you know that you have unfinished business with this person, but if you feel like things are moving slow, it could be part of the twin flame journey, or there could be some blocks coming up that you may need to dig in deep and heal. And that's why I recommend the energy healing. I have some great healings on my website, like clear twin flame blocks and things like that, to open things up. So when I see lack of communication, no talking, no communication, message here and there, probably not going that great if you get honest about it, and maybe needing a shift there too. So maybe some type of blocks coming up that you need to release or clear or to acknowledge in your situation. We got my favorite, Judgment. This is karmic energies. It's my wake-up call. It's awakening, but it's also learning from your past karmic lessons. So we have karmic energies coming up big time, but also integrating all of the lessons that you've had to learn in your life. You needed them all, and integrating that wisdom too, especially when it comes to the twin flame journey. So there might be some type of karma, like we talked about earlier, playing out within your narratives. If you're at that part, because it will come up for twin flame specifically, some type of karmic, usually drama, I say, that will ensue. This could involve just the two of you, outsiders, forces pulling you apart, whatever has come up that you're sensing, a clearing of these karmic energies so that, you can get things back on track, because there are certain things that need to come up. I feel they're energies from within ourselves that manifest into our outer reality and situation to get our attention. And like I said, a wake-up call kind of energy. This is energy to wake you up and kind of get you focused or serious about your situation. So some type of karmic energy clearing will help. I love working with the violet flame for that. And of course, energy healings. Okay, so we have the 9 of Cups, and a lot of you guys are manifesting. I always remind you guys of that, but also we have to clear those blocks too. You are getting negative mindset once again coming up again, where you might feel like you haven't fully gotten what you want. That could be union for some of you guys if you haven't fully gotten into that space, or just things in general in life, okay? So for you, staying positive is a huge shift to shift your outer situation, and that takes a little bit of work. It's not like you can just be positive for 5 minutes and 5 minutes of the day and negative for the other 90% and expect to see the results. It's like something that we need to change vibrationally, and we need to work at, coming from a very negative mindset and vibrational state when we're asleep and programmed that way, to shift to being more positive about things, to see those positive results, right? So it's something we have to work at. Staying positive will help you a ton, but also clearing negative thoughts is coming up big time for the Divine Feminine in this reading, right? So you might have some negative thoughts that are manifesting in your situation that you need to clear. Make sure that you're working on staying positive, stay grateful, self-love, self-care, healing. All the things you're learning how to do during this time on the twin flame journey are really, really going to help you with your specific situation. So all about that inner work you're putting in, clearing negativities. If you've had fear or anxieties coming up, needing to work through them. It's going to trigger them because they're there. It wouldn't be triggering things if it wasn't already there. Now, we love to avoid the triggers and point the finger and blame, right? Okay, no, like they were already there. So acknowledging whatever's come up on your twin flame journey to release. So we have a lot of stuff to release and heal. So Divine Feminine, working on releasing and healing things, letting go of things that may be coming up as blocks and even manifesting blocks. As you're doing this work, you're going to see faster results and much more results with your manifesting and that union. Okay, Divine Masculine, reading for the Divine Masculine Collective. And then we're going to do Divine Feminine, if you're watching, direct messages from your masculine. I have awakened to our connection. I know we have a timeless bond between us. And so each Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine goes through their own process. Divine Masculine knows the connection. They've awakened to the connection and even the work needing to be done. They've been working on themselves and things they need to work on their side. And so sometimes Divine Feminine doesn't understand that. They have their own, we have separate paths even though they're shared and together. It's like, I want to say the pictures of the soul split. You take one soul, you rip it in half. It feels like that in the twin flame journey. And you're each working on that half a puzzle that does go together ultimately, but you each have your own, you know, like trains on a track that are going to collide. We say it's literally like black holes pulling at each other, but you each have your own life stuff to work on. And hence why sometimes maybe spaces of separation are needed if the energy is not conducive to the whole and needing to work through things at their own. Divine Masculine is working on their side of things. They're working on bettering themselves. They're working through whatever lessons they have coming up that they got going on. The distance between us is killing me. I long to hear your beautiful voice again. Any distance, separation, it's painful for both. And I know it brings up a lot of painful energy. So if there's any type of distance, like living far apart, not being together, separation, you know, other lessons, this is very painful too for the Divine Masculine. They feel it. I wish I could take back the hurtful things I said. It was wrong to take out my frustration on you. So there might have been things said, and we have this too because a lot gets triggered and that can happen, especially in, we'll say, passion, heat of the moment and things like that. So there might have been things that either one of you said, especially Divine Masculine, that they regret. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. And twin flame is energies of awakening and spiritual soul searching. This is where you guys find each other, but also finding that high frequency self. And oftentimes, like, this is why I think Divine Masculine goes through a little bit of depression or spiritual energies they have to navigate through to really uncover those negative energies to find their true self, or to let go of ego layers of, you know, how society expects them to live life, or family programming, or what people think, and to uncover their spiritual 5D self and who they truly are, and like being who they truly are too. So this can indicate that this Divine Masculine is finding themselves. This is why I see a lot of Divine Masculines go through the twin flame awakening process, and that they begin to maybe change jobs, change locations, and make really, really big moves in their life. I couldn't go against my family to be with you, so this could just be inner child healing, or even blocks with that. And when we think of family, it could be family of origin and, you know, that stuff. But it could be a lot of twin flames actually have karmics and children and things like that that they're working through, or other lessons. And I always say those are contracts that they may be in too, because sometimes we have to deal with multiple lessons and stuff like that. Things are not over between us. It just wasn't the right timing. And so timing might be an issue. A lot of times people think that they meet their twin flame, and it will be like instant union, and sometimes it can be a little bit of a process, and so then it wasn't time until the work was done, or they're in karmic situations and they're not available, and that this is just the way the connection is until it may become romantic later after the work is done. Or there can be all different situations and scenarios with the divine timing of things, like, and you guys might feel that too. And so it just depends on that too. And like I talked about that a little bit earlier, where they could have been around you the whole time, but they had other lessons and it wasn't time yet, right, for this union. And so when I deal with time, it's like karmic energies, it's Saturn energy, it's the order of our life. And we have to trust the universe in giving us our lessons. And even when it will bring us together into these unions too. And these unions are very important to the planet and to bringing up the frequency of the planet, but also to your own healing journey too. I'm telepathically connecting with you all of the time. And so you guys have very strong telepathic connection. This is where like you could really tell what your twin flame was going to say before they say it. Or you can read their moods or their energy, or if they have certain things going on. And I feel separations help us to develop these 5D gifts and abilities, because you guys are apart. And if you want to know what's up with this person, you're going to have to tap in and tune in, right? And this is why sometimes when apart, you guys are having dreams, you're having signs, you're having synchronicities, and you're having to connect to the higher spiritual, which is the point of all of that. And then when you come into union, you bring all that together and you're more aware and attuned, we'll say, right? So you're very attuned to this connection, but you have to kind of learn how to tap into some of these gifts and abilities. Twin flames have a telepathic connection that, yeah, you could be telepathic with everyone. I'm not saying that, but on another level together, you guys have your own little world and you guys can read each other really well. You can read each other's minds, but you can also communicate across distances telepathically, because this is a very 5D spiritual connection too. But sometimes we have to open up and activate these gifts. That's why I have so many twin flame activations on my website too, to help you guys with healing certain things and also activating certain things like those shared gifts twin flames have, such as telepathy and shared dreams and other things like that. I've seen visions and glimpses of our future together. Sometimes you guys are having it in your head, like what you want your future to look like, and your twin flame wants the same things as you. Maybe someone wants to settle down in a log cabin in the middle of nowhere. Your twin flame will want it too. And maybe you're polar opposite, and that isn't for you, and you just want to do city life, and they do too. Like, you're going to notice that you have these shared dreams, because when you're tapping in on that spiritual and soul level, then you're tapping in on a deeper level. They're going to share those same visions with you. Sometimes this is visions from your spirit guides and showing you that future template so that you can unlock it and activate and like kind of design it with them. Things just got too intense too fast. Okay, so we have the hidden path, divine masculine. Some of you guys are facing blocks, detours. You're being guided to slow down and even take a new direction with your life. And this is like that spiritual path that's unfolding. And so sometimes people have been asleep their whole life, and that's just their life. And then all of a sudden this higher pathway is opening up and revealing itself within the awakening, especially on the twin flame journey, following that spiritual path. We're going to see a lot of engagements, weddings, committed relationships, moving in together. We're going to see a lot of really positive, but that's my union card anyway. Because sometimes twin flames won't go down that road. Like sometimes you've done that with the karmics. But some may, right? I'm not saying that. It just depends on what you feel like you want to do in your life. But sometimes twin flames know that you don't have to do all that, and that it's union that you're after. It's like the goal of union and staying in union and harmony, okay? Okay, this person is looking at your social media. They might be watching from a distance. This is an obsessive, even addictive connection. And that's why sometimes it needs whatever you're getting from the universe. You're getting what you need, as they say, right? To dial it down, because you might be very addicted. And I don't think it's to the other person's energy. I think it's to the twin flame spiritual energy around this connection. And this is why it's important that we're also cultivating that spiritual energy through not connecting with our twin flame, but connecting to source. Otherwise, we can end up drained and depleted or with the other person. So we want to actually cultivate our spiritual connection, bringing that energy down. So we have that kind of energy too. Okay, some of you guys are guided to step back and kind of follow the signs that are happening right now too. This will help you through the journey. There's a lot of mirroring happening. There's a lot of reflecting happening of what you're being shown. We talked about that on the feminine side of the reading, of like paying attention to what you're being shown. You're being shown aspects of yourself through this connection. You're learning through your relationships, but it's much more intense with the twin flame. So there's a certain level of mirroring within our connections. However, with your twin flame, it's very intense. You're being guided to declutter. Time to let go of old items and create a new sacred space for yourself. This is your energy, we know that. But also your house. Maybe you're being guided to let go of things you're not using. My thing, right? I can't stand clutter. Are you being guided to clean up your house? How are your closets? Do you got room? Like, okay, no room, no new stuff. You're like, okay, because we want to make room energetically. So this could just be donating or throwing away a couple things you're not using. Maybe bringing in some fresh energy, maybe some new decor, making it like your dream house. Just kind of depends what you got going on there. Maybe you're being guided to do a deep cleaning of your house. Like, right? Pull things out, clean behind things. This will help your energy and bringing a higher frequency into your home, lifting up your frequency. All right, stay dedicated to your goals. Effort will reap success. Needing to stay aligned with this twin flame union. And when you both work on it, amazing gateways open up, right? Amazing things begin to materialize and manifest. So this is law of attraction. Your thoughts become things. What you're focusing on, you're attracting. You got something negative in your life, stop hanging out with it. Stop focusing on it. It goes away. Right? Oh my God. And then you use that space to bring in what you want. So it's all about your thoughts, what you're focusing on, who you're hanging out with, what you're giving your time to around here too. So if you want your union, you stay focused on it in a positive way, not sitting there thinking negative thoughts all day, that block union. You start thinking about that dream union and how it feels, and it happens really, really fast. So we have that energy of staying focused. Okay, denial, failure to accept a situation, unhealthy cycles or addictions, needing to clear and heal certain things. This is unhealthy patterns, behaviors, addictions, things that we need to work on within ourselves. And life is a fun way of bringing these out. So this is shadow work. Are there things you need to heal or let go of? Things that you've been repressing, avoiding, denying, that you need to go deeper within your healing and things like that. These are like patterns, needing to keep doing that energy work, healing work, and releasing and healing things for the divine masculine. You have such a creative energy. I love this Pleiadian portal because it brings through a lot of manifesting, creative, fun energy and playful energy too. So have fun, express yourself in new ways, and that's with your twin flame. Okay, we have warm brew, love in the art. Speak softly to disarm any dispute or confusion. Honest, vital, patient. I always say that one of the best things that you can do to heal your twin flame situation is watch what you're saying and how you're talking to the person. They mirror back our own energy, right? So when we're not nice, we'll say, look, you get it back amplified. Just be kind, be loving, be nice, be gentle. And amazing things start to happen. This is like being patient and being kind, and it will really open up things to heal and, you know, release triggers and not trigger the ego. So burning bright. Stoke passion to keep the flame of love alive. This is intimacy, sparks, and warmth. And this is something we need to cultivate, the love energy. A lot of people times they won't be, not to pick, but I'm always going to say stuff. The things won't be going good with the divine counterpart, and they're trying to manifest union. This is like here, and they're not even communicating. It's like you're not going to jump from point A to point F. It's like you got to work on the connection and healing the connection and actually, you know, getting to know this person. Maybe you know them really well. Opening up with this person and working on the connection, because that's how you get there. It's not like, you know, like I know, it's, you work on it along the way too. So we have this like, you know, that spark goes out and dies in relationships if we didn't notice it around here when we're not getting along and things like that. So we want to cultivate that spark, you know, love energy, healing energy, you know, kindness, things like that, that will tend to that fire and help with the flame. Okay, 3 of Wands, waiting for your ships to come in. Some of you guys have been manifest something, maybe this union, and you're like waiting for it to arrive. I love this card because it's travel. It might be moving. It could even be traveling abroad. All right, some of you guys might have lots of obstacles, and this could be, you know, maybe some of you guys are like, I know a lot of flames wanting to go on that dream holiday with their flame, or wanting to travel and see places in the world, or maybe some of you guys live apart and you live in different states, cities, countries, right? This is manifesting union. For some, this could be, you know, these great obstacles, they will be blocked, they will lift, you know, it depends on this too. So you might have a lot of daydreams about visiting other countries or going to other countries with your twin flame, or if you're living in another country, you know, bringing that together with your twin flame. That's what I go through with mine. I don't usually try to put a lot of my stuff on here, but I was just in another country with my twin flame, and they're coming to my country. So some of you guys, if you have barriers like that, you know, these things are going to be lifting, and you're going to be seeing maybe travel and bringing it together. But I also know a lot of twin flames that are just in another town apart, right? This is like my healing that and manifesting that union together too. So we see the divine masculine has been trying to manifest union, and this is like a healing of any blocks coming up in the way, because we have new beginning vibes happening. This is my Ace of Wands, and when we deal with wands, it's like fire, and so this is like new start, get things getting passionate. I see so many twin flames coming together across the collective, and I know there's another wave about to, and this is like starting over, new beginning, letting go of the past, like fiery, passionate energy, and like new energy in this connection, and like a do-over, right? Some of you guys, if you've hit separation, I look at it like hitting a wall, hit separation, needing to heal those issues, or you just come back together and it's painful and the same thing happens. Because if you don't change the inner narrative, thoughts, and beliefs, you'll continue to create and recreate the same things in life. So doing that inner work so that when you do come together, because you will, and you get that do-over, you do it right this time, and you learn from the past mistakes. What narratives came up with your twin flame? What problems did you have? What obstacles come up? You need to heal these things, and how, we'll say, shifting your lens of perception, how you're seeing things, and doing that inner work so that you don't continue to recreate the same circumstances, and that when you get that do-over, you do it right. So learning from past mistakes and paying attention to those narratives so you can heal them. Okay, we have 10 of Pentacles, and this is like getting money out of nowhere. Like, you might be flowing. You might be doing real good with your business. You might get a family inheritance. You might get some court payout. You might get all sorts of things coming through. But this is also my security and happy family. Some of you guys might, twin flames, already have kids. Some of you will have kids. This is connected with family healing too. So as you're healing your inner child and healing those inner child wounds, yes, it's going to heal your union, because a lot of those union blocks come or stem from inner child patterns and problems we need to heal. But also it's going to open you up to a lot more abundance and heal kind of lack issues, scarcity, and things like that. Root chakra healing, as you're healing yourself and healing these old wounds, you're opening up to a lot more abundance flowing into your life. We have that on both sides. We have the Hierophant, and this is like, we'll say reverse, so a block here. Some of you guys, your twin flame is not your usual type. Like if all of your karmics had a certain look about them or attitude, or it doesn't have to be look, or they were all a certain, I had someone tell me, you know, the age thing, and they were all a certain age, or you prefer to date this type. Chances are your twin flame might be opposite of that type, like, you know, like literally they're here to break you out of patterns that are too rigid, right? And programming and old beliefs about your love life and things like that. So they might be a little bit different than your usual type. They might look different than the usual type you dated. They might have a different kind of attitude. They might be a different age. They might be a different race. They might be from another country. It just depends on your own situation. So if you've like been dating the same cookie cutter gingerbread type, okay, this is going to be total out of the mold, right? They're going to be totally different to help you break down some of these belief structures and ego and things like that. So, you know, they might be a little different than your usual type to help you to break out of ego kind of stuff. Okay, so we have the 10 of Swords. And, okay, so now I'm going to go back to that message. Like if your usual type, you're always doing everything for them, you're probably going to get a twin flame that'll be like, they're not always taking everything. They might be very giving. They're going to be the opposite to some of your karmic relationships. The contrast is undeniable. Okay, so we have we can use another contrast. A lot of times the karmics are asleep. Not all of them, but usually they're really asleep. And usually the twin flame will be like very awakened, or it's going to be opposite in some type of way with that contrast. Okay, the 10 of Swords, and I'll go back to that. I have people tell me a lot of times the karmic feminines are terrible. Because we're doing reading for the masculine. A lot of times they were terrible. They might have been really crazy in some way, right? And they might have been very, you know, service of self and, you know, insane or jealous or controlling, and usually, or narcissistic. And usually divine feminine is like very kind, or, you know what I mean? And they're going to be like the opposite in some type of way. You know what I mean? And so you're going to see that contrast. Okay, so because while they may trigger certain karmic wounds, they're here to help you to, and you got to do the healing, but they're here to help you to heal certain things. Okay, the 10 of Swords. This is like, you got a lot of wounds from the past. We all do. And that's what this Pleiadian energy is highlighting. We all have wounds. Sometimes these are the negative beliefs that come up all of the time, or how we feel about ourselves or our relationships. So oftentimes I see these deep wounds as negative thoughts that come up. Your twin flame isn't really doing anything. They start not giving you a lot of attention, and oh my, do the negative beliefs come up and things like that, because they're connected to old wounds that your twin flame didn't cause. Other people may have, or they might have been there from childhood, even past lives, okay? And so you have these old wounds specific to you. So when your twin flame is triggering a wound, they don't know. This is something you've been carrying your whole life. It's always been there. So usually what we do is we project, they hurt me in this way, they're hurting me. But actually that painful energy existed and was always there, probably from a childhood wound or previous relationship. And so we have to heal our own wounds, and we all have wounds that we carry that we're working on healing, and we're going to continue to work on healing individually and collective within the awakening. So you have these old wounds, and sometimes they get triggered inadvertently by our twin flame. And oftentimes you guys have the same shared wounds because you're sharing that soul connection. And so you even have shared wounds, so it cuts you deep and it cuts them deep in different ways. And this is healing, we'll call them cuts. Healing those deeper cuts that have been left behind from past hurts, wounds, betrayals, breakups, death, grief, loss, whatever it is. We all have these wounds within ourselves, right? Heart chakra wounds. So yes, you have a lot of wounds to be healing, but when you really go in and you are doing the energy healing and healing yourself, you're going to heal these wounds, opening way for a healthier relationship. So this is why we go through this process specifically within twin flames, so that we can heal these wounds and let go of them for healthier, smoother connection. Divine masculine, being guided to heal. And these are usually connected with insecurities, the negative things that come up. And they get in the way of your relationships if you didn't notice. Because if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts about your partner situation, they're probably going to pick up on that and maybe get weird vibes. Like, okay, right? I mean, telepathy. Okay, so healing these things within yourself so that you can have a better connection and feel more, because we have that secure card, more secure within your connection. So this could be insecure attachment and shifting it to secure, which is why I do that twin flame coaching to take you through healing certain things, because most people have had a lot of bad relationship problems prior to the twin flame because you have insecure attachment. Twin flame will trigger that, usually leading to separation, and we don't want that. So until you go in and heal that, you may have some issues that are coming up. And so a lot of times people don't heal, and then they change partners and have more and more problems because we're adding more and more relationship trauma instead of doing the healing work. So we want to do that healing work to heal any type of underlying insecure attachment, because you're not going to be able to have a secure connection until you do. And you're going to run into the same relationship problems, if not worse, with the twin flame, as they are going to reflect back and mirror your own kind of, we'll say, attachment style and other things. That's just one layer of it. Like I said, we're going into today. So this could be healing things within yourself that are leading to insecure attachment style. This could be, negative beliefs, things you need to kind of really, really heal. That's what I have the twin flame coaching for. I'm always trying to get you guys to do that or do some type of healing sessions. I have a ton of healing sessions for that too. So that's coming up for the masculine side, healing any insecurities, relationship insecurities, or even underlying insecure attachment style. All right, I'm going on that note. I'm going to be doing Pleiadian activations all day today. I have a few up in my store that I did post out this morning. So great time to stop on my site and do any of those healing activations I have for the Pleiadian portal. Have a beautiful day. If you need me, just go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com.